Welcome to the latest episode of Public Safety Talk Radio, a podcast for all of our heroes in public safety, including law enforcement professionals, firefighters, EMTs, corrections officers, healthcare workers, and more. The show is produced by the POCUA and is founded upon its Soundness initiative. This episode is sponsored by the Finest Service Organization, a provider of line-of-duty death loan protection through many of our POCUA institutions. Hi, I'm Ken Bader, your host for Public Safety Talk Radio, and this is a special episode. This is the last, or I should say second to the last installment before we close out season 1 of Public Safety Talk Radio. And one of the guests that I really wanted to get on and understandably could not find the time to be on with us is a gentleman by the name of Vince Levian, who is the project manager of the Finest Service Organization. They are the double platinum sponsor of the Police Officers Credit Union Association and a provider of a program called Killed in the Line of Duty Insurance. I truly believe that our POCUA credit unions and other institutions are set apart from others that are not a part of our association. One of the reasons why I believe our credit unions are a step above is almost all of them, there's a couple of exceptions, but almost all of them provide the Killed in the Line of Duty insurance to their members, which is specifically for law enforcement. I know they are working on that for other public safety professionals, but as of today, it's just for law enforcement. And Vince Levian has been a huge supporter of the Police Officers Credit Union Association. He's involved in a number of things, most notably this year, the Emergency Task Force out in New York, which has been helping law enforcement and other first responders. In fact, I'm going to play a clip where we were able to have Vince on briefly during a panel that we had back in May. You'll notice he's wearing a mask and is busy and doing a number of things for law enforcement. So he has had an extremely busy year, and tying him down to a specific time has been difficult, and understandably so. He has been working on not only helping law enforcement throughout this pandemic, but also supporting law enforcement given the unrest that we've had in 2020. So a huge thank you to Vince Levian for everything that he does for the Police Officers Credit Union Association, for law enforcement, and specifically our police credit unions. I'm going to play a clip from that panel in May so you can learn a little bit about Vince as well as the Finest Service Organization.
Thanks to Keith Stone and the Finest Federal Credit Union, we've been on the ground since the beginning, working with the NYPD and all the law enforcement in New York City, New York State Police, Nassau Police, Suffolk Police, Westchester Police, all of our federal agencies. The Finest Federal Credit Union has been on the front lines helping police officers, and every time I reached out to Keith, he's helped and assisted. The headquarters of the NYPD is 1 block away from the Finest Federal Credit Union. So the biggest issue we've had is the PPE that you hear about, the masks that I'm wearing right now. Nobody could get them in the early days of March. It really hit New York right before St. Patrick's Day, about March 15th, March 16th. And we got inundated with hundreds of thousands of people getting transported to the hospitals. None of the law enforcement, none of the first responders had the mask, had the sanitizer, had any supplies to help them. So one of the things, I've been doing on Emergency Task Force that I'm running out of New York City is going out every single day and supplying the mask and the sanitizer and the gloves to all law enforcement, all the first responders, the doctors, the nurses, state police, NYPD, Nassau Police, Suffolk Police, Secret Service, FBI, ATF, CIA, and basically anybody that's responding to this emergency. I'm sure, I just want to point out and thank all the credit unions. I got a lot of calls and emails from police federal credit unions that I've been working with the past 3 years. I've been very humbled by you all reaching out to me directly from Hawaii to LA, to San Francisco, to Chicago, to Maryland, to Baltimore, to DC, everybody, obviously being concerned with what's happening in New York and, making sure that we could help and give other resources that we've been doing and learning in New York throughout the country. I'm sure everybody knows that New York is the epicenter of the COVID-19, not only in the United States, but in the world. We're up to over 22,000 New Yorkers that have been killed by COVID-19, about 50 NYPD employees. Out of that, about 8 NYPD law enforcement, so line of duty death, that active law enforcement. Another 40 were employees, everybody from somebody, a janitor sweeping the floor to a crossing aide, FDNY, the doctors, the nurses, all these frontline first responders have literally not only risked their life in New York, but all over the country. And they didn't think twice. So obviously, Ken, you're aware I serve on the Civil Shield Foundation and other philanthropic work that I do. And that's what literally connected me with the finest Federal Credit Union and the finest credit union. Keith Stone has been doing an amazing job on the front line for the NYPD. Kill Line Duty Debt Protection is basically a coverage that I got connected through a good friend of mine that worked after 9/11 down at Ground Zero. So, we're here on the front lines. I haven't really reached out to any of the credit unions the past 2 months because of the work I've been doing. Thankfully, it's somewhat leveling now. Now we're dealing with just serious issues of people not having food. I'm sure everybody from LA to San Francisco to Chicago to DC, we have over 32 million people that are now unemployed. In New York, the hardest hit cities, in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, and Queens, where people have nothing. The lines are 10, 15 feet, 10, 15 blocks long. So we're now basically pivoted, working with the NYPD and basically helping people feed their families and dropping off food. And the NYPD's done a great job. The finest Federal Credit Union, I have to say again, Keith Stone and his credit union has stayed open. They have not closed. There's a lot of serious financial issues going on right now, and they've been helping with loans and helping, the first responders, the NYPD, and all the other law enforcement personnel that the credit union has. I think everybody's seen how banking has changed, right? I mean, Ken, one of the things I've seen, I'm sure the credit union is dealing with this, all these paycheck protection loans, every loan was denied by Chase and Bank of America. Mm-hmm. So unless you had a multi-million-dollar account, every small business in the little United States, 90% of those loans got denied by Bank of America or Chase. So I keep on telling everybody, join the credit union. Call up Keith Stone and join a credit union that cares about you and is going to fight for you. You're not going to get the CEO of Bank of America or Chase Manhattan on the phone right now, but you'll get Keith Stone on the phone, and he'll walk you through and he'll give you a loan within, 24 hours, and he's there for you. I mean, Keith has been on the front line since I met him to every single police officer's funeral. Everybody from the police commissioner on down to the cadet. I mean, that's what Keith does, and that's what all you credit unions do every day. And I visited Chicago, Scott Arney and Jim in Chicago. Ken, that's where I met you, with Paul McCormick, who's another hero who risked his life after 9/11, is legally blind, and raced into the towers because Maura Smith, one of his police officers, first woman police officer died on 9/11, was missing. Paul McCormick is the reason why we have the finest Federal Credit Union right now. He was the legendary police officer that fought for years to get this credit union going. So I try to keep it simple. We've been out there every day, to help where we can. And most importantly, we're trying to make sure we're safe. Thank God I've been negative, and came back negative 3 times right now. But I'm not going to lie to you. It's been, I'm literally on a pier right now, waiting to help and get other supplies that are coming in on a boat. I mean, that's my day. I was supposed to be in my office, when we contacted each other about, 2 hours ago. Before I go, I just want to point out, though, every single credit union that reached out to me, they were all reaching out because they deal with law enforcement every day. And again, I just wanted to, on a personal level, I wanted to thank every single credit union, every single employee that reached out to me. They were reaching out more just saying, Vin, we see what's going on in New York. How you doing? And I think it shows the brotherhood, the sisterhood that the Police Officers Credit Union Association obviously has. And I have the honor, I met you in Chicago, then in San Francisco, then in DC. And I remember meeting, every single one of the presidents and executive boards of these credit unions throughout the country. And it's a beautiful thing just for me to see, in my time of need, they're reaching out to see how I'm doing if I need anything. And I think that sets us apart from any other bank that is just cared about their bottom line and making money. This is not what you guys do. You guys are out there every day helping save lives and making sure that, your officers, the men and women of your departments are kept safe and have a financial institution that's backing them up. More now than ever. I see it
Yep.
every day. People are calling me. They lost their job. They lost everything. They can't get unemployment. They're on a food line. They got denied for payroll protection because the multi-billion-dollar bank doesn't care about them because they're focusing on Steak Shack that has billions of dollars. I think that's what sets it aside that what you guys do every day. Credit unions are owned and operated by their members. It's not a billionaire that's making millions of dollars in shareholders. You answer to your members, and that's what sets you guys aside. And our time of crisis and the country's time of crisis, you should all be very proud of the work that you're doing, because there's a lot of people out there that are not doing the work you're doing, and a lot of people are hurting right now because of it.
As I mentioned, as all of our partners are, we're very, very blessed to have some of the best partners that serve public safety professionals in the United States. And Vince certainly is at the pinnacle of that partnership that we have in the association. But wanted to drive home that the vast majority of our POCUA credit unions do offer the killed in the line of duty insurance for law enforcement professionals. I know that's not always a comfortable subject. I know that's not always something we want to talk about, but I know going into 2021, with the issues that we've had in 2020, that does need to be at the forefront. So that's one of the reasons why when I say that when you're just working with a financial institution that just so happens to serve law enforcement or other first responders, it's not necessarily a POCUA credit union. We are the pinnacle here at the POCUA. So if you are a law enforcement family and you're looking for the killed in the line of duty insurance, I strongly suggest going to policecreditunions.com and looking at our map and all of our members. There is actually a POCUA member page where you'll see all of the police credit unions listed on that particular site. Now, with a couple of exceptions, almost all of them do offer the killed in the line of duty insurance for members that are active law enforcement. I encourage you to talk to them directly so that you can get the specific details on what they offer in terms of killed in the line of duty insurance through our partner, the Finest Service Organization and AmTrust. If you have trouble finding a credit union near you, we fortunately also have as a member the National Police Credit Union, which is a subsidiary owned by Chicago Patrolmen's, one of our founding members of the POCUA. And they can serve most law enforcement throughout the country. There certainly are some caveats to that and some things that may need to be done depending on what state that you're in. But I always encourage, if you go to our map and you see a state that doesn't have a POCUA credit union listed, then contact us. We'll get you in contact with the National Police Credit Union that does offer the killed in the line of duty insurance program, and we'll see if they can help you directly. But obviously, this is an important piece of what we offer through the POCUA, an important service that we need right now, given the state of law enforcement and the chaos that we just simply have in our country. So if you're a law enforcement family, I highly encourage you to look at our POCUA credit unions and find one that does offer the killed in the line of duty insurance to protect you and your family. If you have a spouse that is an active law enforcement member. But wanted to make sure that we got that in. A huge thank you to our double platinum sponsor, the Finest Service Organization, and of course, Vince Levian, who does so much for law enforcement and other first responders. We will be back with you next week with the season finale of Public Safety Talk Radio. I'm very excited about it. We've got some former guests, some great experts that are going to wrap up this season with me next week. So join us next week, and make sure that you check out the Killed in the Line of Duty insurance. And as always, stay safe out there, stay healthy, and God bless. Public Safety Talk Radio is produced by the POCUA. POCUA is a consortium of financial institutions serving law enforcement as well as other first responders and public safety professionals. To learn more about our association and to find one of our credit unions or service providers near you, go to www.policecreditunions.com. And always remember, if you aren't working with one of our POCUA credit unions, you're just banking with an institution that just so happens to serve first responders. As a public safety professional, you and your family deserve better. Find a POCUA credit union today.